I became obsessed with being the baddest motherfucker that God ever created. Once you become obsessed with something, it's okay to be unbalanced for a while. To be the best in the world at what you do, it takes being obsessed to where people think you're crazy.
It's in my head 24/7. There's nothing else I can think of. I don't think about nothing else. That's it. I'm just curiously fascinated with it, and I can't stop thinking about it. Everything I do in my life is related to this. I don't do nothing else if it's not got to do with it. Fine.
I wasn't invited to parties or family gatherings on the weekend. So on Fridays and Saturdays, I would go in my rec room with my basketball and basically dribble myself to sleep. During those lonely hours in the rec room, I discovered the hunger, the motivation, and the desire to be the best possible basketball player that I could be.
3:30 in the morning. Why not, man? Most of my competition's just going to be getting up in a couple hours. I'll be getting up that time too, because I got a plane to catch at 7 a.m. It's 3:30 right now. I'll get my sleep on the plane or something, man. But I'll never look back and say, you know what? There's some hours, some pockets of my existence where I could have applied more. And now, later in life, where I came up short, I go, man, that's where I could have picked up a few inches, could have picked up a little bit more there, a little bit more there, and that would have made the difference with my hand being raised from that. No. I'm the best I can be moving forward. I've done that. I've solidified that through all my hard work in here. Giving my all now, so I never have to wonder what if later.
I'm on a journey of life, and we all have a different journey. And I want to be in my pine box. I want to be able to look back on my life when I'm all dead and be so proud of myself forever. This is all temporary to me. I want to be forever proud of who I was as a man and change who I used to be. The liar, the insecure guy, the guy who can, whatever. I want to be proud. If I die now, if I die at 8, if I die at 90, 100, I want to look at myself and say, I'm proud of myself.
One of my most powerful motivational frames is thinking about the person that I want to become as the destination. I want to be bulletproof. And I think about that man. If I were to make that man, what would I put that man through to make him who he is? Like, it wouldn't be easy times. It wouldn't be quick wins. It would be the toil and the struggle of achieving and reaching for things that are right out of grasp.
Well, everybody knows you got to pay a price for winning, but most people aren't willing to pay it. They may pay it once, but literally you got to pay it every single day. And the crazy part about that is the price changes daily.
Do people realize that it's less crowded on the road to success than the road to mediocrity? The bumpiest ride on a plane is what? When you take it off. When people, when they want to be average and mediocre, that's crowded. So many people just want to be average and mediocre. It's crowded. Go be great. It ain't crowded up there.
The greatness is right in you. And that's why, once again, I'll say this a million times here, I do not feel sorry for you. This is what it looks like. And you know what too? I hate to tell you, what it looks like is ugly. It's not a documentary. It's not an HBO special. Hard work looks horrible. It looks like a man being stuck in a dungeon. But you had the key.
There was no outsiders. It was isolation. It was visualization. It was motivation, and it was dedication. There was nothing else going on in my life. You know what I mean? To get to the pinnacle, it needs to be like that. It needs to be no outsiders. It needs to be, you need to have your team and your focus, and that's it.
I think the best way to prove your value is to work, is to learn, is to absorb, to be a sponge. You always want to outwork your potential. As hard as you believe you can work harder than that.
Everybody always says practice, repetition is the mother of skill. See, when I trained and I practiced and I was speaking, I didn't practice until I got it right. I practiced until I couldn't get it wrong. Write this down. Don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you can't, underline can't, get it wrong.
You got to understand this thing called success is a process. The dream is absolutely free. The hustle and grind is sold separately. Get your grind on, hustle. Put your head down, quit looking up. Get your head down and hustle. Hustle. Success is not how far you've gotten. Success is how far you've gotten from where you started.
When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. Most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it.
You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful, as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
Because everyone wants to be Cristiano, but I give you the map. You think you will do it that? It's difficult. It's
The discipline.
the discipline is the most difficult thing, not only in the sports, but in the life.
Motivation is a feeling that comes and goes, and it doesn't matter whether it's there or not. Discipline is infinitely more important. If you only did what you were supposed to do when you were motivated to do it, that's leaving it to chance. So no matter how you feel, get up and do what you're supposed to do.
Your motivation. Your motivation. You need discipline because motivation's not there every day. I'm missing motivation most days. Sometimes I got motivation. Sometimes I'm like, fuck yeah, today I felt good. I can't wait to get to the gym. But a lot of days like, gotta get to the gym. And then once I get going, then I feel great. Yeah. And I feel great when it's over. But it's that beginning part that's hard because your body wants to stay comfortable.
Set a time to train at that time. Set a time to go to sleep at that time. Set a time to get up at that time. Don't tell yourself you need to do something and then don't do it. I knew in my head I was saying, get up at this time. I didn't get up at that time. Train at this time. I didn't train at that time. Don't eat this. I ate that. Don't drink that. I drank it. And these all just infiltrate my mental strength. So I'm just figuring myself out like I've never figured myself out before.
Kevin Durant's favorite quote is, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. What does that quote mean to you, Kevin?
I mean, no matter how good you are, if you don't work hard, nothing will happen for you. So I always use that quote. I instilled it in myself that no matter how good I am, I got to keep working.
Consistency doesn't guarantee that you'll be successful, but not being consistent will guarantee that you won't reach success. Instead of spending time getting in the mood to work, just start working. Confront the work. People think they need perfect conditions to start, when in reality, starting is the perfect condition.
People use things as an excuse, you know what I mean? Okay, something's off, so I can just chill on everything now. But it's important not to do that. You know what I mean? You've got to focus on what you can do, not what you cannot do, because that will consume you. If you focus on what you can do, sooner or later, you're going to be able to do absolutely everything. There's always something you can do.
You need to work on yourself. We need to get stronger. We need to get ballsier. We need to get tougher. There's strength and fighting and persistence. It does not only make the muscle grow, but it makes also your head grow, makes you a stronger person.
The difference between a hero and a coward. There ain't no difference. Inside, they're both exactly alike. Both scared of dying or getting hurt. But it's what the hero does that makes him a hero. What the other guy doesn't do makes him a coward.
The quote goes like this: one day or day one. One day or day one.
There's a great Chinese expression, a great old proverb. The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is now. It's like, it's a rush of blood to the head. Yeah. It's like, I've got one life and this is it. And we're in it right now and there isn't a second to waste. Yeah. Let's do this. What are we doing? What am I doing? What's exciting? What's fun? What's, and kind of stand or fall. It doesn't matter.
Do you actually want to do this or not? Because if you actually want to do it, what's going to stop you? Nothing. And if you don't really want to do it, what's going to stop you? Just about anything that comes up. Just about any obstacle that gets in your way becomes an excuse. It becomes a reason. It becomes a rationale for not proceeding down that path.
I don't want nothing from you but for you to leave this room and know what you want. What do you want to drive? How do you want to live? Stop just waking up like an accident. What do you want? And then once you find out what you want, spend the rest of your natural life waking up and going after it.
I say chase your dreams, man. Do that thing, man, that keeps you up at night. That thing that bothers you, man, that makes you trip. You can't quit thinking about it. That thing, man, that you wake up in the middle of the night, you got a new idea. That's what you got to chase. Because anything else, it's going to disappoint you. I would hate to die and never do the thing I was born to do.
I think what's risky is living your life and never trying for anything and never doing something brave and never getting yourself scared. And
are you scared?
In a good way.
To me, what's unhealthy is living an unhealthy life. To me, what's unhealthy is getting up and going through the same day every day of life, 9 to 5 in an office or in a, that's unhealthy. That beats your mind. I love what I do, and that's why I'm doing what I love. That's why it's become a career for me, because I love it. So I don't think it's unhealthy. I feel good in my mind. It's my life.
In life, you have to have no fear. You have to have no fear. You have to believe in who you are and what you do, and just go and get it.
I had to stop thinking normal. I can no longer be a common man walking around doing common things. It was on me. And that's what you have to realize. Everything you do, you may have some support, you may not, but it's on you. You have to make the decision whether you want to be a badass or whether you just want to be mediocre and everything's okay.
Most people never pick up the phone and call. Most people never ask. And that's what separates sometimes the people that do things from the people that just dream about them. You gotta act. And you've got to be willing to fail. You've got to be willing to crash and burn. You know, with people on the phone, with starting a company, with whatever. If you're afraid of failing, you won't get very far.
You have to achieve failure. You have to take it that far. Nobody wants to go that far. It's too scary. But you know something? I got news for you. That's where winning is. It always has been.
It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, weighed down with all your gear, only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again. But understand this, life is hard, and my advice is to prepare yourself, because football lessons teach us that success and achievement come from overcoming adversity.
We need to not be afraid of failure. You got to go into the work. You got to face adversity. Adversity breeds character. We have to be willing to go through hardship, through suffering, through pain, through crying periods. All of that stuff. Don't shy away from any of that, because it just makes you stronger.
I've lost in kickboxing, I've lost in boxing, I've lost in life, I've lost in love, I've lost in family. Like, life is, you don't just win all the time, it's wins and losses. So you roll with the punches.
There's a payoff for bad eventually. There's a payoff. It can't be bad, but for so long. If you got the strength and the understanding to realize that, it will change. It will change. You play poker, you can run bad forever, but it will eventually turn around once you grasp the understanding of the game. Eventually, it's going to turn around.
It's very important to sort of move on, and I think also losses make you stronger. It's important to learn out of those mistakes, and then you become better and a better player. You work harder, a light goes up in your head, you go like, you know what, I think I understand now what I need to improve.
Your ability to persist in the face of setbacks and disappointments is vital to all great achievement, and it's always a decision that you make. It's not the external environment, it's always the internal environment.
You got to stop with all this I can't catch a break. All the time you're complaining, you could be instead hustling. You could be instead chasing your dream. You could be instead figuring out what you're doing wrong, trying to improve certain aspects of your life, getting your shit together, reading a book, meditating, something. Everybody has bad breaks. Yeah. I've had a ton of bad breaks. But you know what I did? I stayed up. Yeah. And I thought through it. And I figured out what the f I did wrong, and then I went back. It's like I f***ed up everything I've ever done 100 times. There's no other way to do it. And I've had a bunch of shitty breaks. Everybody has. But you got to realize when you have those breaks what that is. It's an opportunity for you to reassess, reboot, get better, figure out another way, find another way through. It's just little challenges.
If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. It's hard to make a radical change in your behavior. It's hard to take ownership. It's hard to swallow the bitter pill that wherever you find yourself, at some point in time, you made an appointment to be there. That's hard. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy.
Life is very much like snowboarding. When you're up in the mountain, either you have the experience through getting
up by the mountain, or you're going to learn. But the question is, what are the mountains in your life that you need to conquer, that you need to go down, that you need to get up in order to level up? And the better you become snowboarding by practice and repetition and getting up and getting hurt and getting back up and getting back up. And it's a sport of very much learning and learning and learning, constantly adapting, constantly moving. And if you can take that principle and apply it to life, then life now becomes very much like a mountain. It's very fun. You can cruise it and understand that f***ing up is okay, because it's going to allow you to grow and to level up and become your fullest potential.
And I'll put myself right out there for the risk of it, and I will fail, and it's okay to fail. In fact, you learn more from failing and humiliation in my game than any other that I know.
If you want to give up, you can give up. This is your choice. You can do whatever you want. A lot of people ask me, you proud of something? I'm very proud of. I never give up. Your time's gonna come, but you cannot give up.
Don't wait until they tell you you are ready. I waited a long time out in the world before I gave myself permission to fail. Ever tried, ever failed, no matter. Try again, fail better.
Just keep stacking days. Just keep stacking days. As long as you keep stacking days, I promise you, you will see the change. My coach used to always say, everything that you want is on the other side of hard.
So at those times where you're questioning if you have anything left, no, a day from then, a week from then, a month from then, a year from then, you will never remember the discomfort of the pain. You will always remember the pride of the accomplishment. That lives on. That's why pain is temporary. Pride is forever, guys. You give it your all, you get it all. Tenfold.
You can get stronger, you can get wiser, and you can get better. See, before I understood, when it was winter, I used to wish it was summer. When it was hard, I used to wish it was easy. I didn't know. The winters won't change, but you can. And that's how life changes for you. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better.
I always questioned myself in the best of times, even when I was world number one for many, many weeks and months in a row. At certain times during the year, I said, what can I improve? What do I need to change? Because if you don't do anything, or you just do the same thing over and over again, you stay the same. And staying the same means going backwards, because the other guys are working hard and improving. So I always needed to find ways to improve my game as well.
People don't like greatness. They envy it. Yeah. And that's the pressure you feel, because you want to prove them wrong so bad, but at the end of the day, you're really just trying to prove yourself right. So when you start to think about, the pressure and the hate and all of that stuff, it just adds on and distracts you from where you're trying to go. But I knew I had to keep pushing. So every time I hit a milestone, it wasn't a celebration. It was just like, let's keep going. Another step, you know what I'm saying? Because they waiting on us to fall off. You know what I'm saying?
We all live in this bubble. What you got to do to get the life that God wants you to have, you got to put more air in your bubble. If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.
Actively challenge yourself, because that's where growth happens, not from comfort. Growth happens from, challenges in some form. Whether you've been embarrassed, whether you lose, whether you come up short, or whether you, intentionally challenge yourself on purpose, or confrontation, whatever you want to call it. Those are the moments where, in my life, really everybody's life, where you start to be like, okay, here's where the growth was indicated from.
It's hard to grow when you're comfortable. You're not stretching yourself, you're not stretching your limits, you're just in your comfort zone. So when I left a small city in North Carolina, 200,000 people, 150,000 people, and came to New York with 8 million, 10 million people, I was for sure uncomfortable. I felt some nerves, but more importantly, I felt focused and I felt ready for the task. So I had to get out of my comfort zone to make it happen.
I don't like being too comfortable. Once you get used to it, it's hard to give up. I know to stay hungry.
Things just become, when things are going well,
calm. Don't think you're on top of the world in the sense. You always got to be wary, because I've seen it. I've seen people come. I've seen people go. I've seen them come. I've seen them go. You got to be chill. You got to just take what's good in your life and move forward cautiously and carefully, and thank God that you have that.
So to everyone out there whose dreams are scaring you, whose dreams make you want to quit, just don't quit. That's good. Your dreams should be big. They should be scary. Just keep pushing through. I have this thing I say, champion mentality. It's not about winning. It's not about a trophy. It's about having no quit. It's about giving everything you have so that when you show up on game day, before the results are over, you're proud of yourself and you know the work you put in.